Is it truly working or is it also BS? That's yeah, stop getting this bitch and then we can start. We could start when everybody gets in here, man. Sleeping good today, bro. I'm watching the cheaters right now. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Hey, they be getting wicked, bro. That shit funny as hell. But again, yo, not working, or do I got to be all up close and personal and shit like this, bro? Hey, it's kind of weird. Not gonna hold you. Not gonna hold you. Uh, uh. Yeah, we getting it, man. Funky. All right. Yes, we are back. We are back. We are back. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get something from my car real quick. Um. Uh. What should I do? What should I do? Don't you come out here starting that meowing, man. You got food and water. Don't you start that meowing. I not want to hear it right now. Do I need to plug the heater up for you? Start that shit. Let's start that shit. Just sneezing. Mm. No scratching either. Told you about scratching. No, no scratching. But you gotta go. All right, I'm gonna be back. I gotta get something from my car. It's headphones and shit, so I can mic up and do this whatever. Careful with my gun. Careful with my slug. Careful with my gun. Careful with my slug. Gonna be, gonna be, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be, woo woo. I'm gonna be, I got what you want. You got what I need. Bitch, you gotta go. Alright, let me set this up real quick. Yeah. Anything. I got what you want. What? What are you meowing for, man? What's wrong now? I need to know what's wrong now. What is it? What is it? What is your function, my loving cat? What? Yeah, me. It's person, I don't care person. What? What is it? What? Come on. What is it? Come on. I got what you want. Yeah. Let's see if this works. Um. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Um. All right. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, shit. Oh, all right. Is this even on? So, all right. So input, audio input. That microphone is this one? All right. I think I got it. I think I got the mic situated. Testing, testing, testing. I'm trying to touch this shit out. Hold on. Uh, all right. So if I turn this up and then if I turn it down, does it even work? If I turn it up or down? Oh, all right. We back. We back. We back. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Just had to. I just had to make sure y'all. Just make sure I had to do all that extra shit. You know. All right. Y'all already know what we here for, man. There's no. There's no. What was I trying to say? Um. Why does my shit have to update? I just updated this shit yesterday. Oh hell no, twin. So the mic sounds better than what lives I usually be doing. Ooh, this shit is loud as fuck. Let me turn that shit down. All right. So y'all already know what I'm gonna be bringing y'all. Let me set up the high quality gameplay real quick. So I got hold on. Hey, y'all can't see this shit real quick. Yeah, y'all can't see this shit real quick. Hold on. Hey, I gotta gatekeep my shit, man. No? Ah, shit. What happened? Feeling it, man? Yeah. Wait. You, that's what I thought. Goofy.
Uh, it's just not supposed to be happening. I got what you want. You got what I need. Bitch, you gotta go. Yes. Should be able to get in. Excuse me. Come on. Hello. So, put this back. Everything's good now. Everything's good now. That's kind of cool. That's very, very interesting. Very interesting, man. What? All right. Uh, Gonna leave that there. Um, yes. Um, let's see. Will you connect? Will you connect? You guys think it's gonna connect? Probably not. Oh shit! It did connect. Okay. All right. It's cool. Woo! It connected. Yes. But not gonna hold you. The quality looks straight ghastly, ghastly buns, bro. Like ghastly buns, man. Why is the quality like this? Shit. I wouldn't be able to tell you, honestly. Actually, I think I would be able to tell you. Cause yeah, I'm gonna be real. I'm not jacking this. Yeah, we're gonna disconnect that and try that again. If that doesn't work, well, we could just do some we could just do some that doesn't work, we could just do some stream games, some Steam game. Oh, look at that! The quality looks so much better, so much better. Hey, I've been playing Where the Winds Meet. That shit's kind of gas. Not gonna hold you. Got to continue my journey while I do this. What if? All right. So welcome to the live. We're gonna get into this. What if Miles Morales wasn't Oh, you can't tell me this shit look clean, bro. Like, you can't tell me this shit look clean, man. Like, come on. This shit look clean. Hell no, twin. Ah, hell no, bro. Why am I signed out my shit? They are trying to fuck with me right now. They are fucking with me right now. I don't appreciate them fucking with me. Hold on, let me get my other controller and connect it to my laptop real quick. I don't appreciate being fucked with. Ah. All right, let's bring this back on track because I just been fucking bullshitting, bro. On some for real shit. I really just been bullshitting for real, man. Can you can you please go in? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh shit. Yeah, you already know what I'm about to do. Yeah, I can't type that in, man. I can't type that in. I can't type that in. So let me turn that shit off real quick. Turn that shit off, man. Turn that shit off. We should be in there like swimwear. Uh, excuse me? Uh, that's what I motherfucking thought. Yeah, I thought as much too. Yeah. Give me my shit, bitch and excuse me, dang. Can I live? Please, for the love of God. Coughing so much for what reason, man? All right. So so we gonna get into what if Miles Morales was in Spectacular Spider-Man. Excuse me. Season 1, episode 3. Season 1, Episode 3. Well, hold on, I'm about to call. Uh, Question for y'all. What should y'all want Miles to be a photographer or him to do his own thing? Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna have him do his own thing. So we open this what if with we open this what if with Miles swinging through around the city, and if I cough one more time, I'm probably just gonna end this live for real. Think I'm just gonna end it. Actually, no. Let me go get something to drink. Shit, man. Always coughing, man. Always not trying to cough, bro. All right, while that's playing, um, I'm gonna go get something to drink. Now that we got that settled, and I think I'm doing a lot better without coughing anymore. Um, we come with this episode right early in the morning. Miles is swinging around the city where he hears on a police scanner that there's a robbery early in the morning. Um, right. So he comes down and he sees the thugs, right, and pretty much gives them belt to ass. I'm not even gonna waste time covering that, but for live's sake, um, he busts in there, gets the bad guys, webs them up on the ceiling for the police to handle it, right? And as he swings away, he sees uh he sees a mysterious woman take a picture of him, but he's not trying to be late for school, so he gets out of there in jet, right? Um, uh, so basically, he's tired from the night before, from episode 2 events, and then with his dad being a police chief, getting down on him while hating on Spider-Man. It's kind of like having up levels of stress, right? So with that on his mind, he shoots over to school with about let's say he gets there about 10 minutes early before school starts, kind of in a little comfort zone. Peter's always late, but Miles is, sometimes late, sometimes he'll make it on time. So we just gonna let him make it on time today, right? Right, right, right. So he gets to Midtown High, and everything pretty much relatively plays out the same with Gwen and with 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 Harry being nervous about this internship because he wants to impress his dad, but you already know his dad is really not fucking with him right now. So Gwen and Eddie um asked if Miles wanted to come for Dr. Connors' cross species project, which Miles is kind of interested in because he's interested in that and he wants to keep his internship that he has. He wants to keep his internship that he has, the science internship that Peter would originally had. Miles has it because Miles is freaking smart too. In some comic iterations, he's smarter than Peter, but yeah, he's pretty smart. So so while while they're working with Dr. Connors, he explains to them what this serum can potentially do, right? And so that's when um that's when Dr. Connors says that he finally has completed it and testing trials on it. He hasn't tested any trials on it, but he wants himself to be the trial because he feels like that if it wants to help people, he should test it on himself before distributing it out to anybody, right? So Dr. Connors takes the he takes the oh my gosh, man. Fuck! I'm trying to why my girl call me at the worst time right now. I love her though, but hold on.
哎，哟，少东什么赚不赚的？嘿嘿，真是花上绣锦。
不要钱，那这果子钱谁出啊？总不
你也不想想，未央丞相啊，你没错，正是。哼，江湖怎么个说？他跟温公子说，
哎，才
这等正，嗨，怎么样，少东家？
饭酒的事，
just telling me she on the way here. So yeah, let me speed run this what if real quick. Well, I'm not gonna speed run it, but you already know where we at. So Dr. Connors says that it's time for him to take the step up, and he injects himself, right? He injects himself, and at first he starts you know, fumbling in pain, I guess, but then it slowly fades away as Miles and Gwen and even Eddie are, trying to keep him steady so he doesn't fall over and stuff. So as as he was steadying himself, his arms slowly started to grow back as Miles is amazed. Miles, Gwen, and Eddie can't believe what just happened. Like, they're in shock. Like, who wouldn't be in shock after that, right? So that's when he was like he was in awe. It worked. I can't believe it. Years of research, and it finally paid off. I could feel again. I could write again. I could hold my wife with both arms and pick up my son with both arms. So he's amazed. And then that's when his wife walks in. Same as the original. She's upset, but she's happy that it worked out right. So that's when everything pretty much goes to canon with that. So we're gonna time skip to the evening time where he's holding his son and he's telling Martha that this could change lives, and she just doesn't want him to get too excited because something could possibly happen. But at the same time, at the same time, he's like he's taking what she said, with some caution, but at the same time he's happy that things happen like that. So with him having his arm back, with him making his arm having his arm back, he starts to feel the side effects as he starts to display lizard-like traits. Slowly he started to notice there's like some faint scales as he was like, okay, maybe this was kind of the side effect for it because he does have a reptilian DNA in that serum. But then slowly and surely he started getting aggressive and Martha started noticing, and then that's when he secluded himself as he started mutating to the lizard. So he rushes back to the lab and tries to figure out the antidote, but he can't find it nothing due to the meddling that Osborn. Oh hell no, twin. Hold on, let me get my charger. No, this can't be. They're on there. We're good. They're good. So, yeah, where was I? Tired of getting interrupted. So, as I was saying, um, Connors made it back to the lab, but things there was a unfortunate events, right? And so that's when so that's when Connor mutates into the lizard as Eddie and Gwen were there trying to help him, but then that's when he told everybody to run away, and then that's when Miles slips up to Miles didn't he slips out to suit up in his track star shit, hoodie with the shiesty on it, man, and you already know what his drip looking like, right? So Miles chases Lizard through the sewers, right? Canon to the original Spectacular Spider-Man. So they're going through the sewers. Miles is swinging through the sewers, right? Well, really not swinging through the sewers. He's really just running right now. I don't really think there would be any space to web swing, but for the plot, we're gonna say he's web swinging when he needs to. So he's like booking it after Connors, and that's when his reptilian DNA starts to take over even more as they begin to fight, right? So that's when the lizard swipes his tail and Miles dodges it. He dodges the tail swipe, like vaulting over it and giving Connors a drop kick to the face as Connors shakes it off because he's kind of surprised how strong this masked figure is, and then that's when he takes his hands with his claws and then puts Miles through the brick wall, as that's when Lizard looked at him and then he roared in his face, right? Roared in his face, and then that's when he started running again, and then that's when Miles was like, oh man, he's like, I did not think that fighting a gorilla-sized kaiju would be on a list of Spider-Man thing I had to do, right? So that's when he got up and got back into the fight. So he realized the lizard is huge, fast, and dangerous, right? And then that's when he was like, I could do that. So they start running through the subway, right? The sewers, and then it leads up to the subway, right? As Miles was kind of getting his behind handed to him. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie. He was kind of getting the belt to ass, man. On some for real shit. He was kind of getting the belt to ass. So that's when Miles was like, all right, I can't keep taking these back-to-back L's and hits and just keep playing defense. So that's when since Miles has a little bit of control over his over his venom and camouflage, that's when he was like, I need to start fighting a little bit smarter. So that's when Connors goes for like a swiping slash attack with his claws, but then that's when Miles dodges underneath, disappears, and then that's when Connor looks around trying to find him, and then that's when Miles gives him an axe kick on the head, right? And then that's when Connors tries to swipe up with the claws, but Miles dodges. What is it? He backs. Okay, so imagine this. So that's when a kind of force knocks Miles back, but he lands on his hand and springs up, kicking Connors into his chest, right? And then that's when he kind of gets airborne, and then Miles jumps up and then uses his webs to slingshot him down, right? And then that's when they crash through and land on the subway, and then that's when they get into the front of a train, and then that's when Miles uses his venom blast, right? His venom charge, and then that's when he jumps straight into Connors like in a tackling motion, blasting Connors as Connors, which is in his lizard form, starts screeching, and he's like, jolting because that shit stings, and it was like bioelectricity all over him. And then that's when Connors roars, and then that's when he does like a tail spin attack again, hitting Miles, but Miles blocks as he uses that momentum to catch himself, right, and then jumps right back at Connors to punch him in the face. And then that's when Connors kind of flies into the wall, leaving like a crack in the dent. And then that's when Lizard you know runs out from the to the exit of the subway, right? uh And then that's when Miles grabs the tail because he's like, "You're not going anywhere," and pulls him. And then that's when the train stops, right? And then that's when Connors grabs Miles and then puts him through the train cart. And then that's when Miles that's when Connors was about to he put his hand into like a chopping motion and used the nails to try to pierce Miles, but then Miles catches it, and then that's when he started screaming and charging his bioelectricity. And then that's when he does his first kind of like mega venom blast, charging it up, and then blasts Connor back, which kind of hurts him a lot. So that's when Connors was shaken aback by it, a little dazed. And then that's when he runs out the exit, and then that's when Miles begins to chase him too. And then that's when Miles runs after him, swinging through the city, dodging everything that Connors is throwing at him. And then that's when he goes through the zoo, as he kind of released all the zoo animals by hitting things. And so that's when Miles has to round up the zoo animals. That's when Miles had to round up the zoo animals because it was either the zoo animals because people was there, or go after Connors and risk the zoo animals hurting people. So that's when he decided to round up the zoo animals and make sure the zoo was secure while Connor escapes. And then as the zoo thing was getting finished round up, that's when Jefferson and his team showed up. That's when Jefferson was like, "You, Spider Freak, freeze!" And then that's when Miles was like, "Spider Freak?" He was like, "I'm not a spider freak. I'm more of a man." He was like, "You guys gotta work on my name for me." And then that's when Miles uses camouflage, and then that's when he disappeared. Now we flash to when Miles makes it back home, as he noticed that his jacket has like this huge claw mark and a rip in it. And then that's when he was like, I have to find. He was like, "Man, I need to have a suit to have a little staple or something. I can't keep rocking this jacket, but for now, it's just gonna have to do." As he uses some of the webbing to patch up the claw marks, and he takes a nice good shower because he smells like sewer water, and he washes his clothes and his shiesty mask, and makes sure that he doesn't wash it with his other parents' clothes, because that's when he thinks that they might put two and two together. And so that's when his mom tells him that dinner's ready, and then that's when he goes with Jefferson working late due to the subway incident and the zoo incident. So he's out working late as his mom is starting to his mom thinks that this new spider kid is more Dominican and Latino and black, same thing as Miles' mom and his dad. And he was like, I don't know. That's when Miles was like, he could be white. You never know. And then that's when he was like, the way he moves, powers and abilities, definitely not. And that's when Miles' mom start to ask a little bit more personal things, as he was like, so how's Finn? And then that's when Miles was like, Finn is taking it she's not taking it so well after everything that happened. Right? So after everything that happened, he basically explains to her that her brother was Electro and that Oscorp has something to be behind it, and she hasn't been seen for a few days at school, and maybe she's just taken aback by it. So he was basically saying that that he just wants her to make sure that he wants to check up on her to make sure that she's okay, because he's getting kind of worried about her as well. And then that's when she was like, so do you have a crush on her? He was like, no mom, it's not like that. I don't even think Finn would even like me like that. And so that's when his mom was like, Miho, trust me, I am a woman. I know when a woman likes you. And so that's when he was like, well, I'm not so sure about that, because I've been talking to this girl named Liz, and I was her tutor, and I was just making sure that she was able to get to her, make sure her grades were good, so that she could be in a cheer team. And we started talking, nothing too crazy, just keeping it simple, just keeping it P, like Uncle Vera said. And then that's when she said, your uncle is the last person that knows how to keep it so that's when I was like, but yeah, he was like, I think that Liz is actually a pretty cool person. He's like, pretty cool? I was like, well, your prom is coming up, and I'm pretty sure you have more than one lady that would like to go with you. So he was like, that's what she said. You better he was like, whatever woman you bring home, she better be nice and treat you with the utmost respect. And then that's when she was like, that's when he was like, okay. And so that's when what else? That's when he really just starts to go back to his room, looking back on everything of what happened. And so that's when he realized that maybe he might ask if Finn is okay. Maybe text her, give her a call, see how she's doing. And so within doing that, that's when Miles goes to the next day. That's when what am I doing? Next day comes around, and that's when Miles realizes that maybe he should try to figure out this cure, because he still has Dr. Connor's notes on how to make the serum, right? So that's when he goes to the destroyed lab, and he goes to the destroyed lab, and there's still things on there, right? There's still things there that he can use to try to make a serum or a counteracting serum that can temporarily turn him human at the moment, so he can do what he needs to do. So without that being said, that's when Miles begins to work on it, and he's getting somewhere. And then that's when Gwen said, I know what you're doing, and I want to help. And that's when Miles was like, I'm not doing anything. And that's when Gwen said, you already know I always been a little bit more smarter than you. and Finn as well. But Finn is smarter than her, but Gwen is smarter than Miles on certain occasions. So Miles is smart, Gwen is smarter on certain occasions, Finn is just like the smartest. So that's when that's when that's when with the help of Gwen and then Eddie comes to help with the help of Gwen and Eddie, they were able to get the serum and create the new cure, right? So after they after he creates the cure, that's when the lizard the lizard, you know, did what he did in canon to try to make like the serum like a gassed airborne so everybody could become a lizard just like him. And so that's when that's when that's when he realizes what that's when Miles shows up to stop the lizard, right? So the fight pretty much goes like this. The lizard explains his plan that everybody needs to be just like him so he could be the king of a new world. But Miles realized that's not him talking, that's more of the lizard personality getting in him. And so they begin a fight with the lizard tackling him off the building into a different skyscraper as they break through the top floor and don't stop to the third floor. So with the bomb set to go off in this airborne, right? Miles has at least 5 minutes to beat Connors, put the vial in his mouth, and beat Connors, put the vial in his mouth, and disarm the bomb, right? And so that's when Connors was like, that's when he was like, even if I don't beat you, all I need to do is stall you out long enough for the bomb to go off, and then everybody in this city will become lizards, including you. And so that's when excuse me again. That's when Miles was like, you know, this sounds like something pulled out of a comic strip. You want to turn everybody into lizards? You want to even like become like a kingpin of a crime lord? He was like, I was expecting something more uniquely. He said I was expecting something more uniquely when it came to you being a lizard. You're like a. He's like, why did I not expect this? Of course you would want to turn everybody to lizards. He's like, you wouldn't even want to turn them into like, you know, let's say maybe a Komodo dragon. And then that's when Connors was starting to get mad because he was like, yeah, this kid's trying to rage bait me. So he begins to attack, which Miles is dodging and weaving as that's when Connor tries to punch him, but then that's when Miles catches it, and then that's when Miles starts to struggle a little bit, and he's like, get back, and then that's when he supercharged his Venom Blast as it temporarily turned blue instead of his red color, and so that's when Connor gets blasted back, and then that's when Miles begins to like run after the bomb, since he temporarily like stunned him, but then that's when Connors move with crazy speed, as that's when he came up in front of Miles, as he's like, you're not going nowhere, and he jumped, slamming his tail down on Miles, throwing him through another floor, and then that's when Connors tries to crouch down and then attack Miles, claws and teeth aimed at the ring, but that's when Miles backflips like somersaults, and then webs a chair and then smacks it against Connor's face as it draws green blood, and then that's when Connors slams his hand on the desk, and then that's when he really starts getting aggressive and acting more reptilian like, as he crawls on all fours, snapping at Miles' feet, right? Snapping at Miles' feet, and then that's when he tries to snap at him again, and then that's when Miles holds his jaw open, and that's he was closing it because jaw strength was crazy, right? That's when Miles lifted him up in the air, and then now he was like, and then that's when Connors was taking it back because he was not expecting this masked individual be this strong. So he lifted him up in the air, and then he spun him around on some WWE shit and suplexed him. He suplexed him in the back, right? And that's when Miles got up. And then that's when he webbed him. He webbed him, right? He webbed him up, swung him around and around. Just tapping it more into his spider strength, because we all know Spider-Man is a lot stronger than what he is, because he moves back. Miles was kind of letting the reins loose, because he figured that Connors can dish out, but Connors has a little bit more durability. So the suit that he's wearing and a jacket is starting to, rip under the strength that Miles is putting on it slowly. So he starts swinging him around and around and around, and then that's when Miles lets go as Connors goes tumbling through the wall, and then he ends up into a pipe room. That's when Miles looked at the time, right? And then that's when he was like I have 3 minutes and 10 seconds left, as Miles just runs into the room. And then that's when it starts getting dark, right? It gets dark in the room, and so they start fighting, right? It's like a sequence, right? You hear the sound effects, boom, bang, Miles punches him, right? Simple punch, right? And then that's when Connor scratches the pole room, right? Making sparks, so it temporarily lights up. And then that's when Miles gets hit by the claw, right? And it draws blood. It's like let's say it's like a medium deep scratch. Nothing too crazy, but Miles is seething in the pain, right? He scratches him, and he was like, look at you. You could barely take a scratch. And lucky for you, since I'm a reptilian, I can see. And then that's when Miles was like, how am I supposed to? In his head, he was like, how am I supposed to? He was like, how the hell am I supposed to fight somebody I can't see? And then that's when he starts getting the ringing in his head, and his body just moves automatically. And then he was like, that's how. That's when Miles trusted his spider senses, right? So that's when he was like seeing things that before it happened. So he's basically using Ultra Instinct right now. He's using Autonomous Ultra Instinct. I don't know why they dubbed that shit. That was kind of lame. That shit sounded really weird. Autonomous Ultra Instinct. Get that shit out of here. So basically, with that being said, Miles is basically moving off of pure spider instinct. You know what? We're not gonna call it spider sense. We're gonna call it spider instinct. That's what we're gonna call it. That's what Miles calls it. We just made a new staple for Miles. So it's called spider instinct, right? So he's dodging and weaving, and then that's when Miles says enough, right? And so that's when Connors puts him against the pole, as the pole begins to break and spill hot steam, and Miles begins to scream. He's like, ah! And then that's when he was like, that's when he like completely locked in and kicked Connors off of him, and then Connors goes for another swipe, but Miles dodges it and webs his hand to the ground, right? And then that's when Miles does like this spinning back kick into Connors' face, and then that's when him and Connors that's when Connors ripped out the spider constricts, and then he begin into a deadlock with Spider-Man overpowering him, and then that's when Lizard tries to tail swipe him again, but Miles already 2 steps ahead, so he does like this twirling motionless flip. I don't know how to explain it, right? So he just like one foot flips over it, right? Webs the tail down, and then double fist Connor's chest into the pipe, right? Double fist his pipe, double fist Connors into the pipes, right? And then with his venom blast, it's more potent. So he backs into it as the seeming pipes begin to burn him too. And then that's when he was like, "You're not getting out of this." And then that's when Miles begins to hammer away, boom, boom, Venom blasting off, and it's still blue because he's supercharged right now. So he's so all in a dark room as you see like Miles just this flash of blue, just this flash of blue, like 1 second, another second, and another second, and then that's when that's as the hot steam was like dissipating. That's when Miles used his webs and his greater strength to um pull some of the pipes and temporarily constrict him as he was like that's when uh that's when Miles webs the pipes up as well and then kicks off for Connor, and then you see like this the lights flickering on and off as you see Miles with like this huge scratch on his suit, and then that's when you see like this cut in his mask on the shiesty, and then that's when he was like, "I have a city to save. I'll get you the help that you need, Dr. Connors." And then that's when he looked at the vial, right? Because he made a duplicate, right? He made a duplicate for the for the for the Connors and the bomb, right? So he made a duplicate. Yes, not for the bomb. My bad. Just in case, because you never know what's going to be there, right? And then that's when he web slings out the building, right, and goes towards the bomb, right? And he was crawling towards it, but then that's when Miles the adrenaline was fading because he was bleeding still because it was a pretty bad gash, right? And then that's when he's pushed himself through, right? He pushed himself through, right? He gets on top of the building, and then that's when Connors escapes, right? And then that's when Connors, is enraged, like he's enraged. He sheds his skin again, and he now has like this protect, like he kind of has like hardened scales on him. So we're gonna make this like I don't know what version of the lizard it is, but he has like kind of like hardened scales on him that he can use as like armor and claws as well. So that's when he sheds out of it, right, and then just goes straight after Miles climbing on the building. And then this is where the like final battle begins, right? And then Miles looks at the time and he was like, "I can't waste time with this." And then that's when he was almost towards the bomb, but then that's when Connors, you know, grabs him with his tail and throws him, right? And then that's when Miles' web slings back towards him and he pulls himself, but that's when Connors cuts the web, and then that's when Connors jumps towards him, right? And then that's when he jumps towards him, and then the vial that was for the for the bomb slips out and falls into the air, and now they're fighting for it, right? And then that's when he kicks off of Connors, right, and then grabs it. But then that's when Connors uses his tail again. He's really versatile with the tail, right? Versatile with the tail, and pulls Miles down, right? And then Miles was like, "I'm not gonna be able to stop the bomb in time." Fail. That's when you see a certain individual. A certain individual. She's on the thumbnail. She's on the thumbnail. Right? She's on the thumbnail. I repeat, she's on the thumbnail. So basically, she's dressed up as the Tinker, right? Dressed up as the Tinker, right? She's the Tinker. So basically, she um basically she is basically she what is it? So basically she uses this nanotechnology that she has, programmable matter basically, and so she uses the boost that she does and grabs the vial, right? She grabs the vial and then as Miles catches himself on the building, he web slings back up, right? And then that's when Finn, as y'all know as Tinker, but you know they really don't know who this person is, right? So she 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 basically shoves the vial in and it dissipates the agent that Dr. Connors had. Dr. Connors had it was just a harmless airborne that basically just boosts normal people immune system. Wow, wow. Since Connor wasn't in that AOE, it didn't. Since it was supposed to work on him, it didn't work on him. So that's when Connors gets on the building, and then that's when as the Tinker went to the next one over, which is really not that short of a distance, right, to escape. That's when Connors was like, you, you, you bitch, you ruined everything. Yeah, yes, yes. Like I said, this Miles Morales, this Spider-Man, whatever. Oh, we're adding CW elements in this motherfucker, man. So, that voice was fucking lethal. So, as you know, since the lizard has enhanced vision, he kind of knows that it's a girl. We don't know who. Miles wasn't there. Well, he was there, but he's not there to hear that. So he said, "You ruined everything." And as he's lunging at her, Finn takes this great sword of a katana, and as he lunged with his right hand, the same hand that grew back, right? That's when Finn clean sliced that motherfucker off, bro. Clean sliced that motherfucker off. Finn is not playing. Finn is not fucking around. The Tinkerer is not fucking around. She is more of a fuck around, and you're going to find out. No questions asked. The lizard starts seething in pain. It's like, ah. It's like a scream mixed with the roar as it slowly starts to grow back. And then that's when Finn escapes with Miles was like, "What did you do?" And then that's when Miles wanted to be he wanted to be more innovative as he gets his hands together and then he shoots it into a Kamehameha style as this red lightning just comes to show up, right? Red lightning strikes where Finn was at, but Finn uses like a shield, right? A shield, but it still shoots her, right? So all you hear is like a deep and it flies back with Finn catching her. So and then that's when she blasts off with the rockets, right? And so that's when it's like this huge lizard hand just wailing and flailing around as his hand started to grow back. And then as the lizard's hair grew back completely, he wasn't in pain no more. And then that's when Miles was like, "Oh no, you don't." And then that's when, as the lizard was trying to escape, Miles basically webbed both of his arms and taped them, like webbed them down. And then that's when Connor started to, break out of one. And then Miles ducked, webbed up his mouth like into like a muzzle style. And then that's when he was able to get him on his knees. And then that's when Miles he grabbed the vial, and then that's when Connors tried to do one last attempt, and he was left free, right? Which Miles' spider sense tinkled. He ducked under, stabbed the vial onto his rib, and then that's when Connors slammed his hand down, which Miles jumped, right? Miles jumped, webbed it down, kicked Connors in the face again, and then that's when Miles basically like spam web, like web imagine Key Blast but in web form. Spider-Man shooting it like that. So that's basically what he does. He basically webs him up super fast, and now that he's tied down, Connor slowly but surely starts to revert back into his human self, right? He slowly starts he slowly starts reverting back to his human form. Um, that's um that's when that's basically when Connor's loses his arm, reverts back, and then that's when the police showed up as the helicopter was there, and then that's when Jefferson comes up through this exit to the roof as that's when he sees a Spider-Man. First time, Miles, that's when he was like, that's when he kind of admitted in his head that even though he's a vigilante, he did do good work and minimize casualties. So there wasn't no casualties, the bomb didn't go off, so Miles thinks that he did a damn good job, but Jefferson says while he did do a good job, he's still putting people in danger. And then that's when Miles runs off into the silent night as he jumps off the building. He camouflages himself, and that's when we fade off into the night as Miles starts to swing back to the crib, right? He can't help but wonder who was that person. Who was that person? Because without that person, he wouldn't have been able to save the city. That bomb would have went off. And for this Spider-Man what if, I know that Spider-Man always pushes through to save the day, but I wanted to feel like sometimes Spider-Man can't save the day, so he has to do what he can to save the day, if that makes sense. So once that happened, right? Once that happens, the next day comes as, fallout, the aftermath, the school is kind of destroyed, the lab is a mess, and then that's when Arthur was upset with Miles for some, the same thing as Cannon, so she fires Miles from the lab internship. The same thing that she did as Peter and Cannon, right? And while that happened, Eddie starts to have a hatred for Spider-Man, as the Spider Kid, as he said, he essentially made everything worse. And then that's when Miles was like, "What? He saved Dr. Connors? He saved him." He was like, he took more research. He took everything. He did this. He was like, and then that's when Miles was like, "No, Dr. Connors did that to himself. Spider-Man only did what he had to do." And then that's when he was like, "You're acting like you know him. You're acting like you are him." Spider-Man, while he did help, he ruined everything. And that reinstatement that leads to, Eddie Brock becoming better. Miles gets home. He's exhausted, and Jefferson is talking about the mass vigilante. While now he had to worry about one, there's two of them that he has to worry about. He was like making chaos in his city as he's trying to make it better. And then that's when Miles' mom knows that he looks hurt and tired. So we're gonna say that Miles' mom is more close to she's more close to figuring out who Miles is than his dad. But we still got ways to go with that. So now that we're closing this episode out, Miles sits on his bed that night, staring at the kind of ripped up mask, or the mask that has that one claw mark on the eye. saved Connors, but he can't help but realize he caused this, encouraging Connors to, get his car back. And now the people that he cares about coming to be more distant. But as he rolls over, that's when he gets a knock at his window, right? It's like a fire escape from the thing, but people use that to get in the window. And that's when Liz shows up. That's when he's like, Liz, what are you doing here? He was like, I heard you. She said, I heard you. She said that she heard what happened and that he got let go from the intern, but it wasn't his fault. So that's when Miles was like, yeah. He was like, I just did the best I could. He was like, and I don't blame her for wanting to get rid of me because I was kind of the cause of this. But he said, but I understand how she feels about it, so there's no hard feelings with that. And I just want to do what I can. Maybe I can get another internship somewhere else. Maybe she might have a change of heart one day, but for now, I already know what she was thinking. There's no way in hell I'm getting that back. He was like, wow, you may not have a chance. I just want to be in the music. And that's what he was like. And then he was like, well, since my parents won't be back for another 3 hours, I figured that I'm over here. Like, oh, yeah, that's okay, that's fine. And we're gonna say that they cut nothing too crazy, I'm not, I can't, we're gonna leave the what if off with that, and we're gonna preview it with them getting into bed, cuddling. I'm not gonna give Miles cheeks the first 3 episodes. That's kind of crazy, bro. I'm not gonna give Miles cheeks, bro. That's kind of crazy. We gotta build up. And while that's happened, Gwen texts Miles' phone asking him about is he okay if he needed him to come over after what happened, right? And then another text shoots from Finn saying that they need to talk, right? That's where I'm gonna leave this what if off right here. That's gonna be episode 3, and then we're gonna cut into it with Taskmaster looking over Miles' battle as he has cameras throughout the city, and he was like, this kid might be a little bit more trouble than I thought, but that's the only thing I might have trouble getting around. Even with the night vision and the thermal vision, I can't see it. It's very faint. This home is gonna be more fun. He said this person's gonna be more fun going after them than them. And that's where I'm gonna be leaving this what if off. I hope y'all enjoyed this what if. And as you can see, every time I try to play the game, I get distracted because I kind of can't do 2 things at once. I have to play the game first and then do the gameplay. It depends on what game I'm playing. Since it's like a high-speed game that I'm playing right now, I really can't do all that shit. Because, yeah, this is like an Age of Wushu MMO where the winds meet. Hey, that shit is fucking fire. But I hope y'all enjoyed the what if. I'm gonna be doing what if Deku had Clive's abilities and powers for the next what if, and then I'm gonna be uploading episode 4 as a normal video, right? So this is going to be the live version for it, right? So I hope y'all watching and I hope y'all enjoy the what if. I know y'all really don't like the live versions of these what ifs because it's kind of freaky and weird. It's just understandable. So this is gonna be the end of what if Miles was in Spectacular Spider-Man episode 3. I will be recording episode 1 of what if Deku had Clive's abilities, right? And with that being said, this is Redux What Ifs signing off. Oh, another thing, episode 4 of the season finale of Invincible since season 4 is coming out currently, or season 5, I don't know, I'm confused. I will be finishing that. I will be finishing that, and I will be releasing What If Goku Was in Smallville, and for those who want that one, I'm gonna be giving Goku a little bit of a boost. So he's gonna be the legendary Super Saiyan. Yes, he's gonna have Broly's powers and abilities. And what I mean by that is that it's still gonna be the same old Goku, but much more smarter, and he will have Broly's powers. So that will be putting him on the level of Superman or above Superman in certain series or certain seasons. For example, we're gonna say that Superman is more stronger than Goku, right? More stronger than Goku by a slim margin, and then for season 2, we're gonna have Goku be more stronger than Superman, but Superman still be able to beat Goku. But you know, it's gonna be like a back and forth because they're like brothers and stuff. So I hope y'all enjoyed this What If, man. I appreciate y'all for all the love and support y'all been showing me so far. I'm gonna try to be getting it back into these What Ifs. I know I've been slacking. It's been like 2 weeks because, you know, I kind of got let's say I put my 2 weeks in for my job because they was on some bullshit. So I'm out here job hunting, making money on the side. If YouTube could come through with money and I could do this for the rest of my life, shit, I'll become a fucking What If channel and a gaming channel for real. But other than that, I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. We at 140 subs. We are 60 subs away. We are 60 subs away from 200, bro. I really can't believe that. I started this shit like almost a year and a half ago, and I'm actually surprised how quickly I am gaining traction with these What Ifs, man. But I appreciate y'all for all the love and support, man. I can't thank y'all enough. And if y'all want me to do like a Friday night, not a Friday night, Saturday night stream where we just chill and talk, and I just play the game and we just vibe, we can do that too. But without no further ado, I appreciate y'all for all the love and support y'all been showing me, man. Let's try to hit 150 or 160 before the year ends. And then for New Year's, we will do like a New Year's stream. But I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. Thank you all for coming through for this episode. And this is Redux What If.